Hey guys! In today's video we will be providing an update on couples from Before the 90 Days seasons 1 and 2. We won't be talking about Angela and Michael and Tariq and Hazel from Before the 90 Days season 2 as we did an update on them in the previous video. We will also be talking about all Darcy's on-screen romantic partners. Stay tuned to find out which couples made their online relationship work and who had broken up after meeting for the very first time. Paul and Karini. The couple first appeared on 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, seasons 1 and 2, before joining the cast of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way and Happily Ever After season 5. Paul and Karini presented a rocky relationship to audiences, and that's why certain fans are very surprised to find out that they're still together. Paul and Karini were featured on the spin-off show after the Kentucky native met his Brazilian love interest. The couple decided to explore the possibility of obtaining a K1 fiancé visa so that she could join him in the US. They struggled with the massive language barrier that required a translation device to make communicating easier. Eventually, Paul and Karini married in Brazil, and they started planning to live there and not in the United States. In 2019, they had their first son born, whom they call Pieri, though Karini was pregnant before and she suffered a miscarriage. Meanwhile, Paul couldn't find employment in Brazil to support his growing family, as he doesn't speak Portuguese. Paul relocated back to the US to work as a farmhand, while Karini was still in Brazil. Finally, he managed to get Karini to the US on a CR1 spousal visa. Karini disliked her experience living in the United States, citing missing her family, poor living conditions, and Paul's unemployment. Last time we saw the couple on 90 Day franchise, Paul and Karini went back to Brazil. Since their last appearance on the show, Paul and Karini have actually returned to the States, and Karini got pregnant with their second son. In summer of 2020, Paul went live after Karini called the cops on him. Eventually, she accused Paul of domestic and sexual violence, and she moved to a safe house in Indiana. Paul traveled to Brazil, and shortly Karini followed him, and the couple reconciled. Paul maintains that the allegations were false and made up by a 90 Day Fiancé fan who acted as Karini's translator. Karini gave birth to their second son, Ethan, in Brazil, and Paul wanted to make a live show on OnlyFans revealing DNA test results, as some fans, and Paul himself, doubted his paternity.
Niño? Niño? Not my niño?
Karini and Paul, with both of their children, recently came back to Kentucky once again. Currently, the couple produces extremely graphic OnlyFans content and takes requests from the fans who want to see the most bizarre types of intimacy. Darcy and Jesse, Darcy and Tom, Darcy and Georgie. In season 1 of the TLC show, 42-year-old Darcy Silva thought she found love with 24-year-old model Jessie Mister. Darcy traveled to the Netherlands to meet Jessie for the very first time, but he quickly learned that she was eager and some may say desperate to get a ring. Jessie also didn't like the fact that she loved wine.
Did you have a glass of wine?
Yeah, absolutely. What's wrong with that? You alright?
I don't care if she has a small glass of wine, but Darcy is obviously highly intoxicated.
Jesse wasn't perfect either, with most fans accusing him of being a narcissist. The two were not compatible. Jesse was rigid and Darcy was a dreamer who wanted the fairy tale love. The duo's relationship lasted for 2 seasons before they finally split in an ugly breakup.
I want to get out right now.
Yeah, keep drinking, Darcy.
You don't love me. You never did, liar.
To this day, Jesse claims that Darcy has alcohol problem. We will be talking some more about his alleged relationship status in the next video. On season 3 of Before the 90 Days, Darcy reconnected with Tom Brooks from England, who was her online acquaintance for years. She was still desperate to get engaged. Tom's sister quickly said that Darcy didn't really know the man she hoped to spend the rest of her life with.
What's his favourite colour, Darcy?
I don't know. You probably
You
like.
should know straight away.
Yeah.
For me, the bare basics of when you're first meeting someone. His favourite colour is blue, by the
I
way.
was going to say blue, but yeah.
The relationship ended when Tom told Darcy that she had put on weight in season 4 of Before the 90 Days after she found out that there was someone else in Tom's life. We already spoke about Tom's relationship past the breakup with Darcy, including allegations of cheating on multiple women and overall gigolo vibe. Currently, he is dating a new love interest, Mariah, and recently they both appeared on 90 Day Diaries. You can check out the video about Tom and Mariah, linked in the description below. After season 4 of Before the 90 Days, Tom Brooks and Jessie Mister leaned on each other because they could relate. The two became great friends. They could not only relate to each other because of their past with Darcy, but also they share same political views on American politics. On her own spin-off Darcy and Stacey, Darcy introduced us to her new boyfriend. TLC star and her new man Georgie met at the Super Bowl, and it was love at first sight for the duo. They later met up in New York City, and during the lockdown, they self-quarantined together. However, Darcy was shocked when she found out that her love was still married. The couple still got engaged, despite Georgie still being legally married. However, they have been on and off a couple of times throughout last year, judging by their Instagram pages. During one of the breakups, Jessie Mister was saying that Georgie contacted him. In his words, Tom, Michael, and now Georgie just reached out to me, same issues. Nothing changed. In case you're wondering who Michael is, he was supposedly dating Darcy around the same time she was with Tom. We are going to see the continuation of Darcy's story on the second season of Darcy and Stacey. Perhaps then we will find out whether her romance with Georgie lasted. Larry and Jenny. 37-year-old manager of McDonald's Larry met 24-year-old Jenny on Filipino Cupid. He was specifically looking for a Filipino woman because they are beautiful and honest. He only knew Jenny for a couple of months, and his rash decision to propose at the end of his first trip upset his sons. Larry also discovered Jenny was active on Filipino Cupid just a week ago at the time he was going to see her. That made him doubt whether she is serious about the relationship. Larry is known to 90 Day Fiancé fans as the guy who cashed out his 401k to visit his fiancée in the Philippines. He also offended Jenny's family by refusing to eat the traditional dish. Nonetheless, Larry proposed to Jenny at the end of the season, and she accepted. The couple was able to chronicle their past good news on 90 Day Fiancé What Now in September 2018. Jenny was finally approved to join her fiancé in Florida, where the couple wed during the show's third season. Though small and cost-conscious, their wedding showed a beautiful ceremony between two people who are truly appeared to love each other. In 2021 on 90 Day Love Games, Larry and Jenny revealed they are still going strong and still living in a trailer park in Florida. Sean and Abby. 47-year-old Sean from Springfield, Ohio, met 20-year-old Abby from Haiti online. On the show, the Ohio native traveled to Port-au-Prince to meet Abby for the very first time and possibly propose. The couple is remembered by fans by the fact that Sean brought Abby 200 pairs of panties for her to resell in Haiti. Also, there was a love triangle involved. Abby was still friends with her ex, an American Chris. Chris was older than Sean. He was 64-year-old and he was way more successful than Sean. During one of the confessionals, Abby confused Chris with Sean and admitted she's looking forward to her relationship with Chris.
Are you looking forward to being able to finally be with him?
Oh, I'm looking forward to my relationship with Chris.
With Sean, not Chris. Try to do it one more time.
Also, Abby contracted scabies from Chris to herself and Sean. For that, she received a moniker from the fans, who call her Scabby Abby. Despite the challenges in their relationship and Chris being a third wheel, Sean proposed to Abby at the end of their season. In 2018, Abby broke off the engagement with Sean citing his jealousy and controlling behavior as the reason.
He was really jealous, which is a very unattractive trait, and also was kind of controlling, and I didn't like it. So in March 2018, I broke off the engagement.
Broke up with me. You know, she's very single now, and she's acting very single, and that's fine. Well, NetDoll, I don't know what to tell you. The connection is what the connection is. If it's pausing, it's pausing. There's nothing I can do about that. I mean, I'm not at home with good Wi-Fi. I'm at McDonald's, so you know, I don't know. Abby has told me, you know, that it was because of all the pressure from being on the show. And
soon after, she started dating an Englishman, Louis. The two fell in love, and Abby immigrated to England on a fiancé visa. The couple married in a small ceremony because Abby's family wasn't able to make it to the wedding from Haiti. Unfortunately, a few months after the wedding, Louis discovered he has testicular cancer. The news devastated the couple, and Louis went into chemotherapy. After a year of battling the disease, Louis announced in November 2020 that he went into remission. Abby and Louis are still together, and they seem to be very happy. As to Sean, he is keeping private, and he has removed his Instagram page. Before that, he announced that he is moving to the Dominican Republic, and he has someone special in his life. Currently, his relationship status on his private Facebook page is set to single. Courtney and Antonio. 26-year-old flight attendant Courtney from Florida met a hot Spanish model Antonio online.
I've wanted to Skype, but our times haven't matched up. I think it's a little odd that we haven't talked on the phone, but right now there's so much like chemistry and passion and excitement. I could possibly be in love with Antonio or want to marry him. Yeah, it's a little weird to admit since I've never met him.
Courtney went to Spain to meet Antonio, and she was delighted to find out he wasn't a catfish. The couple did have some drama, as Courtney felt lonely because Antonio wasn't with her all the time. Nonetheless, they became an item, and when Courtney had to leave Spain, she was inconsolable. They decided to become exclusive, but ultimately they broke up when Antonio came to the US and didn't even make plans to meet up with Courtney.
I didn't see Courtney because I have no free time. I got so stressed. Courtney is far away, Florida is far away.
Antonio's excuses to not see me, I don't feel are valid. Like, if Donald Trump, the president of the US, can tweet, like, he can't send me a text? Like, are you kidding me?
In 2020, Courtney had found herself with another beau, but she didn't seem particularly happy with him. In April 2020, the reality TV celeb had confessed to being stuck in quarantine with a man she didn't like. She had revealed to 90 Day Fiancé Self-Quarantined that she had met her boyfriend Andy via email, as she was the brand ambassador for his Period Cup company.
And then around the start of quarantine, I started seeing this guy named Andy. Andy hired me to be the brand ambassador for a Period Cup company. Babe, what size do you think my vagina is?
Babe, it's not about the size of your vagina, it's about a flow, heavy flow and no flow.
But even though she came over to him for the weekend, the lockdown announcement in Florida made her stay with him. In May 2020, Courtney gave an update about her relationship with Andy on the Dominic Nati show, by saying that although she felt Andy was ready for marriage, she wasn't ready for the commitment and was exploring options. On 90 Day Diaries Season 1, Courtney moved out of Andy's house, though they seemed to have feelings for each other. On 90 Day Diaries Season 2, Courtney revealed that she is dating a new guy named Andrew for a year already. Courtney is not too happy with their relationship though, as she is ready to commit, and after a year, her relationship is still moving slow. She also admitted she is unemployed and still lives with her parents. To make money, she started selling pictures of her feet online.
I'm a marketing executive, aka selling foot pics. It was stuck on my toe. I love foot modeling. I don't have to get ready. I could just lay in bed, not do my makeup, not do my hair, and then I could send the same video to like 100 different guys. Happy birthday.
Meanwhile, Antonio seems to have relocated to Shanghai, China, where he is pursuing his acting and modeling ambitions. It is unclear if he has any romantic partner. His Instagram page mainly showcases his modeling gigs. Patrick and Miriam. Patrick and Miriam had an unusual storyline on Before the 90 Days Season 1. A young father from Lexington, Kentucky traveled to Paris, France to meet his online friend Miriam. Patrick was under the impression that he could woo Miriam and begin a relationship with her. However, sometime after his arrival, she confessed she already has a boyfriend and she wants to be just friends with Patrick.
I have someone. I have a boyfriend.
USA to Paris, France, to meet a girl I've never known before. This is something that I feel as if she should have told me before I came. You know, I went on a limb for this. Man, this is something I really wanted. It got taken away.
On Naughty Day What Now Season 2, now single Miriam traveled to Kentucky. The couple still haven't commenced any relationship, but they did hang out. After that, Patrick started dating a local woman and they had a son, Patrick Jr. On 90 Day Fiancé Self-Quarantined, Patrick video called Miriam and revealed he is now single and living in Las Vegas. He co-parents Patrick Jr. and sees his older daughter Italy 4 to 5 times a year. Also on that show, Patrick detailed his struggles during the lockdown as he is working as a DJ and the strip was closed. Patrick said he was still hopeful he could make it with Miriam one day. Currently, Miriam appears to be single. She has recently reached 100,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel, Miriam Manhattan. She is also a presenter on MTV Friends. Rachel and John. Rachel and John's love story is rather unusual. The couple matched on a karaoke app and started talking after performing a singing duo.
I met John through a karaoke app. I was at home, bored, I downloaded a karaoke app and I sang a song and John joined me in on that song and the rest is history.
Stars align most every time.
In the meantime, Rachel got pregnant with a man who wanted nothing to do with her baby. Rachel already had a daughter from her previous relationship and she shared custody of her eldest. John has developed romantic feelings towards Rachel despite her pregnancy and he decided to be a father figure for her second daughter, Lucy. Interestingly, Rachel even sent the umbilical cord to John. She and Lucy traveled to the UK where John was living. Rachel and John got married in a small but romantic ceremony during her trip.
I promise that every day that goes by, you will know how much I love you. There may be miles between us, but there is no one closer.
John and Rachel, it gives me the greatest of pleasure to announce that you are now husband and wife. Please kiss your gorgeous bride. Well done.
Things got complicated when it came to John coming to the United States. He has a criminal record, and even though the citizens of the UK are able to travel to the US without visa, having a record makes one inadmissible to come. This also complicates obtaining a K1 or a spousal visa. Rachel is not able to come to live in the UK either. Her first child's dad wouldn't allow his daughter to move abroad. Rachel and Lucy did visit John once again after their appearance on Before the 90 Days. Currently, his spousal visa is still being processed, and the two still live on the opposite sides of the Atlantic Ocean. John revealed that he is even adapted to live by mounting daytime time zone to be able to talk to Rachel every day. The couple appeared on Season 4 of 90 Day Fiancé What Now and on 90 Day Love Games. Ricky and Jimena. Ricky and Jimena were first introduced to us on Season 2 of 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days. Ricky had initially traveled to Colombia to meet his online love interest Melissa, but when she didn't show any interest in him and ended up ghosting him, Ricky contacted Jimena and their romance started. Jimena was thrilled to find out that the man she had been talking to online traveled all the way just to see her. So when Ricky came clean and told her that she was his second choice, she was obviously devastated. Jimena demanded a complete explanation about the whole situation, and the pair ended up talking things out.
¿Te lo comieron también?
Sí.
¿Qué?
¿Qué? Can you repeat?
Te pregunté. ¿Comieron y se lo comieron? O sea, se lo comieron es como tuvieron sexo.
No.
Their romance continued, and the season ended with Ricky getting down on one knee to propose to Jimena with the same ring he had bought for Melissa. She accepted his proposal, and the couple was happily engaged. During the tell-all episode for the season, Ricky revealed that he and Jimena had broken up once he went back home. He explained that the split happened after he had a conversation with his daughter, who expressed concerns about how fast he was moving. Saying that his family and children would always come first, Ricky also revealed that he had gotten back together with his ex-wife and wanted to make the relationship work for the sake of his daughter. Jimena admitted that Ricky broke her heart and that she threw away the engagement ring he had given her. However, it looks like Ricky and his ex could not work on their issues, as she filed for a divorce in June 2019, 8 months after he revealed that they were back together. After that, he suffered a few dating fiascos, including the time he traveled to Russia to meet a 19-year-old girl. From his Instagram page, it looks like Ricky is currently single and he is busy focusing on his work and kids. Jimena also appears to be single and she is currently living in Spain. Marta and Dea. Milwaukee-based exotic dancer in third generation and a mom of two, Marta hoped to travel to Algeria to meet model Dea, and she even had tickets, but Dea never filed the correct paperwork to ensure Marta's travel visa. They also bickered about her religion and her career.
So, Dea, he's okay with it so far?
He hates it. He doesn't like it, but it's my job, so. When I told him about my career, he said it's not appropriate. He didn't like it. He expressed it very strongly. Our religious differences and our cultural differences are gonna make things complicated for us. Do you like my necklace?
I am Muslim. I'm Christian.
He wants to go.
After that, she stopped pursuing him. Dea never appeared on 90 Day Fiancé and his full identity is unknown. Marta only appeared on the show mid-season and was featured in a handful of episodes. The theory goes that Chelsea spent a lot of money shooting all the bits of her story before she was to travel to Algeria. It's been disclosed that Dea isn't in Algeria but he is Tunisian and he's a noted internet troll. So he might have catfished Marta for as long as he could. When the time came for him to get Marta an invitation letter to come to Algeria, he had to cut it off. That is because apparently he doesn't even live there. Since her last appearance on the show, Marta had another baby. So that wraps up the updates on cast members from Before the 90 Days, seasons 1 and 2. Are you surprised that so few couples are still together? Please let me know down in the comments. Make sure to check out the previous videos with the updates on 90 Day Fiancé couples from seasons 1 to 8. Please consider giving this video a like if you want to see more updates on 90 Day Fiancé couples. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys next time.